Hello, my name is Mary. I am a school psychologist and I also like to read in my free time. So that's about all you need to know about me. Let's jump right into this first video. Today I want to talk about devastation and destruction, specifically of our emotions, specifically this book and how it led me down the pathway to destruction. Maybe I'm an emotional masochist, but I love to read books that make me cry, and I read this one a few months ago, and since then I've been thinking, what was it about this book that made me cry? Now, when I say cry, I don't mean like a few dainty tears here and there that I just wiped away. I mean like really ugly bawling. The last time I cried that hard was probably like 12th grade when I was taking a math test and I skipped the back of the test because I didn't realize it was the back of the test and I failed. That was the last time I cried this hard. So I've had quite a lot of time to ruminate and to wonder, what exactly was it about this book that brought on the tears? Just a little context, I actually didn't know anything about this book or that it existed until earlier this year. So I read Circe first. I read that back in January after seeing it all over Bookstagram, after having it recommended to me. And then when I posted my review of Circe, someone reached out to me letting me know to read this book. It's their favorite of all time, I would really love it, or they really loved it, etc., etc. So I put it on my TBR, added it to my wish list, and someone actually bought it for me a few months later, and since then it sat on my shelf for a little bit before I read it. But I did read it, and boy was that a wild ride. I don't know that I necessarily could have prepared myself for it better unless stuffing a few extra tissues in my pocket would count. But really, this was like, it ruined me. It left me in tatters, just complete disrepair, a state of cognitive shock, if there is such a thing. I don't know how many other ways I can say that it just obliterated me. What was it about this book that did that? Okay, I think there are good books that make you cry and great books that make you cry. And yes, I am cuddling this book like it is my babe. So good books that make you cry, I think, do so because you can relate so much to the characters in the story, right? You read this book and it makes you think of the memories that it's evoking, and you remember having felt that way at one point in your life, and it just brings on the tears. Great books that make you cry, I think, do so not because you can necessarily relate to the story, but because of the writing, because of the way that the emotions come across and transcend the pages, really. So, for an example, some of the quotes in this book that really did me in were these two. So this quote is, "I could recognize him by touch alone, by smell. I would know him blind, by the way his breaths came and his feet struck the earth. I would know him in death, at the end of the world." I think there's more to that quote, but you get the gist of it. It's sad. Another quote that really stuck by me, shorter but impactful nonetheless, "He is half of my soul, as the poets say." So you see how the writing is just so, I don't know, sublime, I guess would be the word for it. You just really felt the love between these two characters. As I said earlier, this is a great book because it made me cry, not because I can relate to it. I'm obviously not of Greek mythology. I'm not a legend in any way like Achilles is, nor am I gay, but I really felt the romance between them and I felt the devastation in the end. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I'm sure people who read it could agree that by the end of this book, Achilles veers towards the insufferable personality, right? He just doesn't really come across as that likable. But nonetheless, you really feel that emotional ending and it packs a punch. So I just really wanted to talk about my love for this book and the way it made me feel, because if there are any other emotional masochists out there, we can connect. Thanks for watching. Bye!